Once upon a time, in a quiet village in India, lived an old Brahmin and his wife. They were kind and devout, but their lives were simple, almost empty. One day, while walking through the forest, the Brahmin stumbled upon a sight he'd never seen before. A single, magnificent aubergine plant shimmering with an otherworldly light. Its leaves were a deep, velvety green, and from its stem hung one perfect, enormous aubergine, the color of a twilight sky. He had a feeling this was no ordinary plant. Carefully, he uprooted it and carried it home, planting it in their small garden. He and his wife tended to it with great love, and the single aubergine grew larger and more beautiful with each passing day. Finally, the day came when the Brahmin and his wife decided they must taste this wondrous fruit. As the Brahmin brought his knife to its smooth, purple skin, a tiny, clear voice cried out from within, "Please be careful, don't hurt me." They both froze, staring at the aubergine in disbelief. Gently, the Brahmin continued to slice, and the fruit fell open. But instead of seeds and flesh, a young woman emerged, more beautiful than any flower in their garden. Her skin glowed, her eyes sparkled like stars, and she was dressed in silks the color of the aubergine she came from. She told them her name was Princess Aubergine. The old couple, whose hearts had longed for a child, were overjoyed. They welcomed her as their own daughter, and for a time they were a happy family. Princess Aubergine was a creature of sunlight. She filled the couple's small hut with laughter and joy, but as evening approached, a quiet sadness would fall over her. No one knew her secret. One day, a young and handsome king was out hunting in the nearby forest. He lost his way and, following the sound of sweet singing, found himself at the Brahmin's humble hut. There, in the garden, he saw Princess Aubergine. He was instantly captivated. He had never seen such grace, such ethereal beauty. It was love at first sight. He forgot all about his hunt, his kingdom, everything. From that day on, the king found an excuse to be near the forest. Every day he would secretly visit the princess. They would talk for hours, their love growing stronger with each meeting. The Brahmin and his wife saw the happiness in their daughter's eyes and approved of the noble young man. A year passed in what felt like a dream, and their love blossomed, resulting in the birth of a beautiful baby boy. The king was ecstatic, ready to bring his new family back to the palace and make Princess Aubergine his queen. But it was then that she finally revealed her heartbreaking secret. With tears in her eyes, she confessed, "My love, I am bound by a curse. I can only live in this form during the day. When the sun sets and the last light fades, I must return to my aubergine shell. I am not truly free." The king was devastated. He couldn't bear the thought of losing her every single night. "There must be a way," he pleaded. "Tell me what I must do to break this spell." "I would travel to the ends of the earth for you." The princess looked at him, her love and hope shining through her sadness. "There is one way," she whispered. "But it is a perilous journey. You must find the magical 9 lakh necklace. It holds the key to my freedom," she explained the quest. "Far from here, there is a hidden river that flows through a deep, forgotten canyon. In that river swims a special fish, its scales shimmering red and green. You must catch this fish. Inside the fish, you will find a black bumblebee, and inside that bumblebee is the 9 lakh necklace." The task seemed impossible, a riddle wrapped in a quest. But the king's love gave him unwavering courage. He kissed his son, promised the princess he would return, and set off immediately, his heart filled with a single purpose: to free his love. The king journeyed for weeks, crossing mountains and deserts, following ancient maps and the whispers of the wind. He faced hardships that would have broken a lesser man, but the image of Princess Aubergine and their child spurred him on. At long last, he found it. A shimmering river flowing between towering cliffs, just as she had described. He waited patiently by the water's edge, his eyes scanning the depths. Days turned into a week, and just as his hope began to wane, he saw it, a flash of emerald and ruby beneath the surface. The red and green fish. With skill and determination, he cast his line and caught the magical creature. His hands trembled as he carefully opened the fish. Just as the princess had said, a large black bumblebee flew out, buzzing angrily. The king acted fast, catching the bee in a piece of fine cloth before it could escape. With the utmost care, he opened his hand to find not an insect, but a necklace of such breathtaking beauty it seemed to capture the light of 1,000 stars. The 9 lakh necklace. It pulsed with a warm, gentle energy in his palm. He had done it. Wasting no time, he raced back, his journey home fueled by adrenaline and love. He arrived at the Brahmin's hut just as the sun was beginning to set, its golden rays painting the sky. Princess Aubergine was standing in the garden, her form already starting to fade, a look of despair on her face. "My love," he cried, running to her. He held up the gleaming necklace. Her eyes widened in disbelief and joy. Without a moment's hesitation, he gently placed the magical 9 lakh necklace around her neck. The moment it touched her skin, a brilliant light erupted from the necklace, enveloping her completely. The shimmering, translucent quality of her form solidified, and she stood before him, more real and radiant than ever before. The curse was broken. She was finally truly free. She threw her arms around him, tears of happiness streaming down her face. The old aubergine plant in the garden withered and turned to dust, its magic finally spent. The king, with his queen and their son, returned to the palace. They were married in a grand celebration that lasted for weeks, and they ruled their kingdom with kindness and wisdom, living happily ever after. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more tailies from around the world.